This entire time, I had no idea that James Gunn was from St. Louis. Isn't that, like, wild that I didn't know that? It's awesome. It's a fantastic fact. It gives me hope. But yeah, that's shout out James Gunn. So the other day, the official trailer for Superman, not Superman Legacy, just Superman, was officially released after a couple teaser trailers, but this is like the actual trailer. We got a teaser of it before that kind of showcased the suit, more of the color grading, the looks of it. We also got a little clip with kind of more crypto stuff, who seems to be a big part of this film. But this was like the actual story trailer. And even though it didn't really reveal too much about the story, I gotta say, I always had faith that this movie's going to do well. But I felt like the criticisms and the fears going into the movie were certainly valid. Looking into it, like, the big glaring thing to me is the color grading and the CGI effect, and, well, I thought the CGI in some of the trailers looked a little wonky, especially, like, the, hey, buddy, eyes up here, that one kind of was like, ooh, that didn't look particularly great, but it's a trailer, you know, it will be fine, I'm sure, by the time we get to the movie, and it's not really that big of a deal. Regardless, the color grading was definitely an attempt to make the movie seem brighter and kind of give it that comic book campy feel, and we'll have to see whenever the movie comes out how I feel about that. I'm not really willing to make a negative assessment quite yet when it comes to that. I don't hate it, actually. I think it looks good enough, and whenever the movie comes around, I think a lot of those colors are going to pop, and I think it's the right move. I think whenever we had to reboot Superman here, we had to get away from the Zack Snyder feel and look of how the DCU should look like, and a little darker and more gray monotones and a little more serious. James Gunn is going to be going the opposite way, especially when it comes to Superman, brightening him up, kind of, you know, really delving in on Superman's personality here, which I liked Henry Cavill a lot, but the movie was darker and it was more gray, and Henry Cavill's Superman was more stoic in nature, which is fine. But that's not what we're going to be doing here. This is going to be a very big case study and deep dive into Clark Kent as a person and his personality and Superman's morals and belief and hope, and really building that character up and making it brighter and more hopeful and joyful and comic book campiness, and that is all great and sounds awesome to me, and I'm 100% on board. So, and with the color grading attempting to do that, I can't help but wait to see what the vision looks like before I make a negative assessment. I just looked down and realized I had a bunch of shit on the floor. Not like actual human shit, but like a box full of shirts that I didn't even know I had. Some things in the trailer, it kicks off with Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Lois Lane interviewing Clark Kent. Give me a second while I plug in the camera before it dies. Hopefully that stays charged a little longer before we cut off and die here. But the trailer starts off with Lois Lane interviewing Clark Kent as Superman. I really like David Corenswet, and I can't remember the actress's name who plays Lois Lane. I apologize, but she seems like Lois Lane. She's really digging for that story. She's really great at reporting, and it also really highlights that these two she knows his secret identity at this point in time, and I think that's good. We don't need another origin story, and this is no origin story at all. However, I think they're pretty new into the relationship and pretty new into figuring out that Clark Kent is Superman, because he does get defensive whenever he talks about how, yeah, he's getting backlash, but all he was trying to do is save lives and do good because it's the right thing to do. And David Corenswet gets very passionate about that, which I like. The line where Lois says Superman and Clark responds with Miss Lane, that was very, just that line delivery felt like Superman. It was very odd, but when you hear that, I just kind of heard it and I was like, that is Superman. And yeah, that sounds sick. There's a couple cuts of some action scenes later in the film. Superman fighting some guys, getting his ass kicked, and then the civilians are helping up Superman, kind of again building that relationship that he is giving hope to the people, and he is just as human as everybody else, even though he's not really human. But you kind of get my point. I love all of that. Really going to be pushing that. Superman cares about the people, and the people care about Superman. He's a symbol of hope. He's a symbol of love and joy, and I like that. I like how they're pushing that. One highlight for me in this trailer, which I didn't think I was going to like, was I was never really sure on the casting decision of Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. But watching some of his portrayal and his lines, and this is going to be a generational hate act. I think this is going to be really good. Like the line where he says he's not a man, he's an it. That was the most insane, vicious, hateful line I've ever heard in my entire life, and I loved it. So yeah, I think that his portrayal as Lex Luthor is going to work very, very well. We get some scenes with Ma and Pa Kent. Ma Kent washing Clark's boots. James Gunn just gets it. He understands. They're going to be keeping Ma and Pa Kent both alive and very important to Clark, similar to the Superman animated stuff, which is good. I like that. Crypto laying on Clark's chest in his childhood bedroom, kind of signifying that I think Crypto has been there for a very long time, which I like. I know a lot of people are kind of worried about how much is jam-packed in this film. Like, we already saw Rick Flag Sr., Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific. Like a lot of characters are in this thing, and I understand the fear that this is going to be an overblown and oversaturated movie. But if any director has a very good job of like putting a lot in his movies and still making the main points stand out and having all those, those important side characters build up the main storyline, it's James Gunn. He did it with the Guardians movies multiple times. He had Adam Warlock, like one of the biggest, like a massive Marvel name, incredibly powerful Marvel character, was in Guardians 3 and was like just helped serve a narrative. Like, he wasn't like the big bad or anything, and that's great. So if anything, this trailer after Superman, it helped alleviate some of the worries that I had. I think it looks really good. I'm highly, highly excited for it. The summer movie slate is just absolutely insane. With Superman and Mission Impossible, there's another movie that I can't remember. Fantastic Four, Jurassic World. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're gonna be busy here, and I am so overly thrilled and excited for it. So yeah, what do you think of the new Superman trailer? I think it looks awesome. I'm highly excited for it. I think it helped alleviate a lot of the worries and concerns that I had going into the trailer. One of the big standouts for me was Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, something I was unsure of. But I think that this is going to be good. I heard from a lot of leaks, and you can't trust any of these things, but a lot, they say it might be a little divisive, but it's already divisive because a lot of the people who really love the Snyderverse aren't really giving this one much of a chance. As soon as they saw the suit, they weren't going to give it much of a chance, which, by the way, the suit I actually like a lot. If there's anything I don't like about the suit, I don't really like the wrists. I feel like we could, put a little red line on there, get some separation, but besides that, and I understand it, people think it may look baggy, but I think this is like the homemade suit that Ma Kent made, so I'm good with it. But yeah, I really like this film. I think it looks really good. I can't wait to see it in July. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the page. We're working really hard. Like this video, leave a comment. Go to www.foreverunlikely.com where you can look at some of the things we're working on. And you can also subscribe to be a member and join the 1% and help us support and grow this channel together. So, yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in a little bit here. I don't know what next week's slate looks like, but we'll see. But we'll figure that out together whenever we get there. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. Stay happy. And let's go, be hyped for Superman together as we go into the summer. Alrighty, everybody. I'm going to go check out what's in this big box. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace, love, adios, and bye-bye.